Session with Paintology. Paintology, as you know, is a drawing app that you can get from the Google Play Store. And I will show you where this is the app that you can download for Android users on from the Google Play Store. And as you can see, it's a very capable app allowing you to improve your drawing on the phone or the tablet in leaps and bounds, actually. And it's one of the reasons why I like this app so much. It's allows me to rapidly improve my drawing skills, and I'll show you how to improve your drawing skills on the phone, and also, most importantly, have fun. You don't want to get frustrated when you're drawing. You want to make the journey of drawing easy and exciting. So let's head to, as you know, most of the drawing I do are using my fingers. As you can see, this is the phone I'm using, and this is my Samsung Note 10. It's a 6-inch, just over 6-inch, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have screens that big, and all you need is your fingers to draw, as you can see here. And so we go to the app, and I'm going to show you how to make a quick drawing. It will probably be an hour to make this drawing, so if you want to, you can follow along to what I'm doing, and that will help you a lot and to be aligned with how I'm making the drawing. And it's very easy. We're going to use block coloring, nothing freehand. So most of the artwork, digital artwork I see from other YouTubers are simply showing off their skills. And I come from another angle. The angle is to show you how to draw. If you think you cannot draw, think again with this Paintology app. So you've admired so many other artists on their drawing capabilities. Why don't you carry yourself there as well? And it's so easy. So some of the skills I'm going to show you stem from using some of the tools that you're already familiar with, like trace and paint by numbers. So if you go to this app, you'll see a lot of these paint by numbers tutorials that really help you with drawing tremendously, right? I'll show you what I mean. Oh, there's double of everything here. Like, for example, let's open this one up. And you can see right away you have paint by numbers. So you can select 8. Let's select 8. Okay. And then you can zoom in. And this manner of drawing really helps you with your drawing strokes. Right, let's select 3. So you see the color it takes on, and this really helps you. You won't believe, a lot of people have embarked on a journey of art, drawing and painting because of paint by numbers, right? So you can save this and resume it some other time. Let's discard it. So you can see here, it's all the other ways of drawing. Pencil drawing, for example, is another form of drawing here. As you can see, and some of it comes with the videos as well. Close, watch the video, right? So you can see how the drawing
from the already made draw, such as.
So this one shows you how to actually make this complete drawing on your phone, starting from here, and then you add the shade. So use a shade brush for that. So just keep in mind that you don't need fancy tools to make digital drawing. And this brings me to a very important point of this drawing session as well. I call it Painterly drawing session. And the reason for calling it Painterly is that it stems from the word that artwork looks painterly, has been drawn or utilized with paint brushes, large brush strokes, but the end goal is to give the illusion of form, shape, and distinctive objects or features that we're already familiar with. I'll show you an example of one couple I did yesterday of the landscape, which is a good example. Here, for example, this is a painterly landscape. This is done on this phone as well using the finger. And you can see that from here, it, it gives the illusion of a nice wooded forest, right? But I've used a painterly technique. Painterly means I'm not trying to get it to photorealism, and there's a strong debate on painterly about doing artwork that is gives the illusion that it was done by paint or materials, and with this you would be hard pressed to tell if it was done with digitally as well, isn't it? Which I'm going to show you. That's why I'm saying you don't need so many fancy tools to do digital drawing. If you want to learn drawing like the way traditional artists do it, then you can do it with Paintology. And most traditional artists are unfamiliar with this painterly way of drawing, and they think that you need a lot of sets of tools to do digital artwork, and the end result is digital artwork that looks anime, computer generated or cartoonish and fairly surreal, but not like the manual way of doing something like that. So this is the done on this phone with the finger, and I think I did that in a live session a few days ago. So that you can also find on the YouTube channels. Check out the YouTube channels Paintology and Produce, which is my personal channel, sorry. And then the Paintology channel is the one for the app users to get a real good handle on how to use the app. And it's not difficult at all. And I'm telling you that you will, if you are serious, instead of being wowed by other artists, why don't you give it a shot? It's very easy. And I've done some very simple drawings that is impressive with a very short time. So we have a lot of drawings that I've done with the finger. Take this one, for example. Looks painterly, doesn't it? And you can see this is Emily Blunt. It was done with the fingers using block coloring. So that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and pick a subject, which I already have in mind. Trace image, this cat. This is the feline creature that my daughter really loves. I think she turns into a cat when she sees any of these pictures. So we're going to do this, and I'm going to show you. So watch the technique very carefully. I'm not using brushes. There's no technical know-how required. I'm just using my fingers as I've shown you, like this. And I'm going to create this in about an hour or so, okay? So let's first select the background. And to just select the background, we're gonna select the color picker. Let's clear that out. Select the color picker, select the background, and then we press the bottom left box and then say OK. And now we have the black background. You need to select that before you get into the drawing. So I've tested out a few brushes. Now here is the point about brushes. Please do not think brushes are going to create the final piece of art. If you do, you're thinking extremely in a very beginner level. If you think brushes are going to make the final art, don't believe in that. Yeah, that's why everyone rushes to a brush tool. It's your artistic skills that are going to make you a good artist. Why do you think I'm able to make the other drawings in an hour or so? That's because I've developed these techniques and skills which are these fundamental to drawing, and that's what I want to show you. To understand these skills and in drawing and painting, it's done through Paintology. Paintology is the only app I know that teaches you those techniques. It doesn't just push tools right in your face that you need to use every time you want to make a stroke or do do a drawing. You will see how I make this drawing with the technique of block coloring and the trace method. And to do that, and that requires no drawing experience, but it is fundamentally develops important skills essential to drawing and getting to the level where I showed you. I love this journey of painting and drawing. And if you tell me, oh, he's so accomplished, how far can he go or whatever, that's not true. I learn something new every time I make a drawing, and that's what keeps me so much immersed in this drawing and painting journey with the digital medium and Paintology. So we're gonna just select one brush for no particular reason, and I think I've found a brush that I'd like to use, which let's have a look. Sticks flower. Yeah, I use the flower. And I set this 70%. Don't ask too many questions. Here's what I'm going to tell you to do. Do something I'm going to teach you to get to a level far more rapidly than other people who embark on drawing and paint. Dismiss the notion that you shouldn't trace. Load of rubbish. You shouldn't trace means that those people are saying you need to go from 0 to 100 meters simply by running. And then if you want to go to the Olympics, just keep running 0 to 100 meters. That's being so one flat-footed thinking. Do you think an athlete just continuously run? They have to build their appetite, they have to build strength, they have to build stamina. They go through rigorous training. I'm pretty sure they will spend 80% of their time building up the the body they need to run fast, and then probably 10-20% they're practicing doing the actual 100 meters. Same thing goes for drawing. You need to use the tools. To get to the tools, you get to a level so much faster. Someone tells you, oh yeah, you start drawing the blank canvas, you can copy but don't trace, it's cheating. Oh, come on, please. Give me a break. Are you want to see a drawing that I've done, freehand drawings that I've done because I was able to use these tools to rapidly develop my skills. So this is what I'm showing you. So don't be dismissive of what others tell you. Go with an open mind. That's what I do. Whenever I'm painting and drawing, I go with an open mind. I never use the same technique. And the reason I don't do that is because I want to learn. I want to continuously get skill sets within me that will allow me to do something far better in the next drawing or even more better. That's why I can take leaps and bounds in the drawing area. And I'm not an artist by training or anything. I've never had formal training of art. I've never had that. I was good at art when I was young. Then art remained dormant for like 20, 30 years for me. Art 30 years until I picked it up with believe it or not, paint by numbers. I tried it and I said, wow, it's all coming back to me now. And then I just continuously followed my interest and passion, and here I am. So the way the block coloring works, you can check out some of the videos that I've already on the channel, is that the top half is the reference image here, and this is where we pick out the colors of this cat, yeah. And then if we were in our bottom, the color picker here will pick out the color of our canvas. And if we're at the top half, you notice here I'm gonna use the color picker. Look, it's picked out the pink color of the cat, and then if I go here, picked out the white color of the fur of the cat. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use a brush size that's about 15%. See if that works for us. Maybe a bit more, 20%. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to obviously use the Painterly technique of making this drawing. Painterly means manual. It means doing it manually on the digital medium as well. And this is the true essence of Paintology. Everything is done in a manual way, but if you think, oh, that's going to take you forever compared to digital, you'd be completely wrong. I'm in fact multiple times faster than a digital artist when it comes to drawing, making a painting or drawing. And I don't have to confine myself to digital artwork such as anime or things. I can do fine art. This is fine art. Where you see all the examples you see of fine art, these are mistaken for traditional art. And if you are into drawing with fine art, which most adults are, perhaps, you would be a lot interested in this, in Paintology, and you'd find that very, very, it's like a natural transition from traditional art. So let's just dive in and do the block coloring at 22%, and I have the setting here. Actually, I'm going to increase the setting just not to confuse you, 30%, and then I'm going to use the color picker and then simply just, in fact, it's a little big. You want the size to be reasonable to manage. Just look how I'm selecting I'm trying to, what I'm doing now here is simply, I'm just simply trying to get the tonal value in that region and just laying down the colors. Very quickly. Nothing. It's like the first pass of the drawing. Just going there. Whenever you see a tone that's similar, and if you see an adjacent tone that's lighter, then pick the color picker again, right? Just simply basically just picking up these colors. Look, no drawing experience required. Am I using it? If you can align your drawing to this, you can draw. If you can't do that, then I'm pretty sure you won't be able to do handwriting. Everyone knows how to do handwriting, right? This is exactly the same. And if you've got a fear of doing this, then you really have a fear of drawing in the first place. And you should rethink what's going on with your mind. Just don't think, don't prejudge, and don't dismiss It's very important stuff I'm telling you, is that if you come with a dismissive mind, if you come with lack of confidence, it just means that you're you're going to have a block. Look, look what I'm doing. I'm following the trace, and you should do the same. Just following the color. Look, you can see here, there's a whiter band here, and I'm just simply going to use the same brush color and just bring it down here. And notice I've just got at the halfway mark, the trace bar. So anywhere in the halfway mark allows me to pick the reference image. And doing this grounds you in essential fundamental skills in art. And this is understanding tones. You must have heard that. Tones, values, form, shape, all the things that are characteristics of good drawing. Right, there you are. So look, just following that, and I'm not too worried about the accuracy of it at all. Let's see what we have here. Look, it's very. How long did that take? That's the first painterly effect of drawing this cat. Now we can go same here. Just put that down, the colors. And as you pick the tones, the tones will change. You look at the number of tones we picked. You wouldn't possibly do that with a set of brushes. You would get close to it if you had a set of Prismacolor pencils, but not to the level that you can do with digital. And that's the beauty of digital. It's like you can have a fast control, and it's no different to drawing with pen and paper or pencil and paper or canvas and brushes. And by the way, I'm a traditional artist as well, and I draw. There you are. There, see, that is look. If you drew that, and you'd be amazed, wouldn't you? And that's simply just following the outline and the tonal values that's going on here. And now the next thing is when I've done this, let me save this. Okay. The next thing I do is I simply half the brush size here. Right. So I'm going to take it down to about 9%, right? And then now it allows us, look at the brush size. Yeah, look, the brush size is now allows us to create some details of the eyes. So I could take it down even more. Let's take it down to 8%. Yeah. So now you know the brush size is about this size, and we can go here and then select the tones here that's showing up, and then move your trace bar. Just keep moving your trace bar. I'm selecting this region and move your trace bar to see what's going on. Okay, and now you can see I'm going to do this white region. Look here, it's even too big for it, but let's do it anyway. Right, so even the brush size is small, and so you can guess that if you wanted to get this spot on or close to it, what do you need to do? Yeah, exactly. You need to reduce the brush size even more. Let's see what happens. Look, how easy that was. Very easy. So that's the painterly effect. It's the traditional way of drawing, okay? Nothing more. It's just the traditional way of drawing, and I'm using my fingers here. Look, I've selected that, and then select another tone. So continuously select the tone. So the beauty of this color picker is that once you've selected the color picker, and then you go to the place where you want to draw, it assumes that color. So you don't have to deselect the color picker, you know, like other apps. So it assumes that color that's directly underneath your finger whenever you place your finger. Alright. So get that. Let's see what it looks like. Look, such an improvement. And now let's do the nose. You'd be surprised though with this simplicity that you're able to draw, right? Look at that. These are tones that you're picking out by continuously selecting the color picker and confining yourself to this smaller region. Nothing complicated at all. Is there anything complicated? No, there's nothing that is complicated about drawing this way or painting this way. This helps you to train your mind. Okay, let's see what it looks like. Amazing, isn't it? Just with what is it, 10 minutes, 15 minutes into this? And if you were using any tools, you'd be first thinking about the ears, drawing a sketch around. No need, absolutely no need. So this is also fundamental to the process of drawing, which I'm going to show you what process means. I'm going to try and explain actually. If you want to find out more, you have to go to the blog on the Paintology.com website. And if obviously there's and also Quora, there's a paintology.quora.com where you can see daily drawings that I do and I post them, so you're free to read through it. It has some of the summary of how I went about making a particular drawing. So here in this, have we saved it? Let's save it, yeah? So you could assume this is a painterly manner of drawing. And now I'm going to tell you the drawing process allows me to take this all the way to this in drawing. If I put enough effort all the way to step number 30 in my drawing, I will get to this level and you wouldn't be able to distinguish it from the, so that's called photorealism, photorealistic. And people who want to retain some of the artistry use this. This is a painterly way. And most people think that painterly, they have a different opinion about painterly. But I wanted to remove a myth about painterly and photorealism. Photorealism is, to me, because painterly, I can go painterly all the way and just keep continuously developing this, giving the illusion that it was drawn by hand, but then at some stage it will become like this, giving the illusion that it's just a photo rather than being manually done. And to reach that level requires me to go through the whole process of painterly. So if people say, well, you know, painterly is more akin to what they want, that's fine. Yeah, I was at one time thinking like that. But do not dismiss photorealism. It's a skill that is what I call the Grand Prix of skills. If, like I just said, if I want to reach that level, I would take my painterly drawings all the way until I reached this photorealism. So that means I need to keep pushing my skills to the level where I can take it to photorealism, which means that my skills in painterly is already there. So I'm going to take you through the painterly sessions bit by bit, and that's the drawing process. So I've explained drawing process in a different manner. Each time, here's fundamental to drawing. Each time you do a drawing, you will immediately be tuned in to areas of the drawing that needs improving. And that's all based on your core skills that you've developed. Like, for example, here, it tells me where I need to go next in order to get to the next step of the drawing. And then I could say to myself, well, I'm perfectly happy with this. This looks great. I did that in about 10 minutes. Or you could say, you know what, I want to add some more details. So let's go ahead and continue to add more details. And to add more details, you must know that it will require a smaller brush size because you want to get to the details of the artwork that you're doing. But what I've shown you is one form of artwork that can be continuously developed until you get, for example, the artworks of Constable Turner or Constable Main, I would say, is that he continuously develops this painterly way of drawing until he gets to a level, an illusion, gives the illusion that that is a real, you're almost in the painting itself, although you can still somehow break away and say that's actually a painting done by a very accomplished artist. Yeah, but if you want to do it, if you also don't want to get to the level of photorealism, you can still develop this painterly, I'm sorry, let's look, this painterly of a subject. The paint, the whole the drawing looks like it has been done, like done by brushes, broad brush strokes, and you can clearly make out the choice of colors and the way they created the strokes and the way they created the textures on the surface, through perhaps using brushes and impasto, like for example, using the knife. So these paintings, I can think of names like Monet is a good example. Vincent van Gogh was a very good example of that painterly fashion, and Cézanne is another one. And Picasso used painterly, but his subject was so different. He formed a new type of artwork called cubism, right? So you have that. So now so I can go a lot on this subject. So let's carry on and refining this drawing to show you how to get to the next step. And like I said, I've got it at 45%. And you know what I'm going to do? Just to experiment, I'm going to take this down to 70%. So still use the thing. I'm going to take it up 80% actually. So still use the color picker, of course, right? So now I'm just simply going to go follow the strokes. You see the strokes? And then just follow it. And it'll give that impression of an ear. So I'm going to do both ears and you can see what that looks like. I'm using the color picker again and again here. All right, just to make sure I'm getting the right tones. So it's nothing difficult, nothing futuristic or magical that I'm doing. Very simple. Just give the illusion that there's more fur, and then let's see where we are. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Again, this is all hand drawn. I'm actually enjoying painting with my fingers. Previously, I was using stylus to do a lot of my drawings, and I found out that the fingers can be just as effective. See where I'm looking for these dark and light tones? That's trains your memory, trains your mind into your brain becomes more acute with these tones, and it helps with your drawing, creating three-dimensional drawings, right? Which this is really. All the time. So I'm going to do these ears. I'm going to show you what it looks like. Just a little bit of effort. Alright. So we've gone a bit too far there, so let's take that black out. Okay, let's see what we have. Okay, can you see that the ears have taken on some shape, but it's not quite obvious yet. So we're just gonna go over as much. And if you think you're gonna get a drawing done in one pass, you're quite mistaken. You need to keep working at it, because I know from experience that I need to keep working at it. That's the mistakes most beginners make. They think with a single pass they should be able to achieve stardom status. If you asked any of the artists how long it took them before they reached the level, you might be surprised to reach the level they have, right? Okay, so we're just gonna go, and then we notice the broad brushes on this. Now we're actually getting into the thick of the details of that. Here's the cat's nose, right? Use the color picker, just go down bit by bit, and you'll see. I'll show you the actual face because it's the most prominent part of the cat. So here, look, these dark tones, I'm trying to pick out these dark tones. So it gives the impression of the furry creature. And then if we go closer, we can get these dark bits here. And then I'm still just using the reference image, and it's an excellent way of learning art, learning to draw. Okay, here. And then you can see here, I need to get that white bit. And then I can go here. It's a lot whiter, you see. You see how it's a lot whiter. Do you see how it goes? The tonal value changes. Okay. You'll see how this eyes. We notice how this eye has become so much more detailed. That's exactly what we wanted. Now, let's use the strokes of these fine. Let's just follow the lines of the fur. That's why some people have got the technique down, and they can create animals very easily. Okay. Just picking out any random color tone. You see the color tones here? Dark, right? But then if you pick, there's a white there, and just let it flow into the, and then take it the other way, the black. So if you take it the other way, it gives the impression that the furs are sticking out. Yeah, this is a technique, isn't it? Simply a technique. And then you'll see how quickly we have developed. And then here, let's do the nose. And it will be, because of a bit more effort, we will have got more detail of this cat, and it will look a little less painterly and more towards realism. Yeah, that's the aim. Confining it so I don't go too far out of the color that I picked. So it can be hard to see where the difference is between your canvas color that you put down. So always just go back and forth like this to see how your drawing is coming along. Yeah, there. See? Let's have a look where we are. That's like, you can tell right away there's a significant improvement from the broader stroke, and then you can keep going, and then you can see how this is progressing towards realism. Yeah, more towards realism. So now that we've got the brush size here to a really smaller size, we could go here, here, and then just continuously, the smaller brush, continuously just go through. You can go to all the way, and then just simply go through go through the actual drawing, and then the one there, you see. So now you have a better, I'm flicking through this button on the left. I just press it once, press it again. It flicks through the main drawing and my canvas, the main image. So I can see where I have to put more effort, yeah? And get those details. Okay, that's all it is I'm doing. I'm picking the brown color there. Notice it's got the dark brown here as well. So always go to, oops, there, the brown. Well, I'm going to just sorry, I'm just going to quickly pause here, be back. Hello there. Welcome back. Sorry, I just took a break here, and I'm gonna keep. We're gonna keep going here, as you can see. So again, like I said, you flick through from your drawing to the actual canvas, and then you're able to follow what's in your. The beauty of this is it is showing you and training you to become good at tones, and at the same time, what is it doing? It's helping you become good at drawing as well, right? You can pick that adjacent color that you picked last time without having to use the color picker if you wanted to. Very easy to draw cats. If you'll be surprised with, you'll impress a few people, isn't it? Look, I'm just following and then using the occasional color picker to get that these color bands that I want, without making it look like a flat solid color. Look, this got a rainbow of colors, isn't it? You see, even the brush size is too small, so you can imagine if you really wanted to go into photographic, you'd have to get to those details. And this trains you in getting to those details. Oops. Let's get that white, shall we? How good are we? You can see here right away that look at these lovely white strokes going all the way. Just keep doing that. This is Painterly. This is the Painterly way of drawing. If you think digital drawing was all about tools, quite mistaken. This is the fun way of drawing, isn't it? You'd have to agree. So notice there was a crisscross of black and brown. And that's what we do, just crisscross black and brown. Just do it. And then there's even this direction as well. And then there was. Look there, right? So that's a bit too harsh a color. So I'm gonna take that. What is it doing? Yes. And then we can add the other color over it, right? Just trying to get these colors. They're so lovely, but not too much. This one. Just trying to add texture. Use the same amount of white that is showing there. This is where your experience will come in. And this color is a little brighter, isn't it? This one. So let's do these feathers. Finish these, not feathers, sorry. I was drawing a bird that last time. That's sort of accidentally. Call it a different name. Now look at that. It's nothing complicated. Nothing difficult. You're just following the shape. following the shape, the form, the line strokes. I bet you want to see what's underneath the whole drawing now, do you? Okay, so we will go to it. Let me just finish this off. Alright, let's see what that looks like. You can now see such a big improvement over the first one, which was pretty good as a first pass, but this is a second pass, and now it's telling you, oh, this is going pretty well. Let me go to the next step. So what do? Just carry on, isn't it? Look, now you can see there are gaps, areas that you need to. That's how painting is done. They see one piece and they move to the next part. So I'm just going to use this method that I've been doing, which is working quite well. That's right, fingers, and then I could say, well, let's get that reference, yeah, okay. And then there's a little brownish line that, oops, where is it? There. It goes along there, but don't want to make it too. And there's another brownish tinge that goes underneath there, and then another line that I want to do here. Okay. Oops, where have I got the color? Let's do that. I can see that's another line, and then just continuously. You could use a smaller brush, but remember, we're not doing anything an exact copy of this, which I could take you all the way, but then you need the skills to do that, right? So let's see if we've got this color here. I'm just gonna brush it in like this. Oh, it's all white there. I've seen it. It's a beautiful flow of fur that's all going here, and it stretches all the way. Look at that. It stretches all the way. So let's just do that. Let's just do that. So I'm just going, as you can see, I'm just going back and forth, following the lines of tones. Not all the tonal values, just some of the tones, yeah? That's why we see we've left that black mark, because we knew there was a tonal change here, right? And look at that white there. See that white? So it didn't capture that white. See that? Just capture it, and then now go here, brown. It's a little bit brown. Get let's follow the flow of the strokes. So I'm going to use a darker tone. So if you don't get it, just yeah, see there was a darker patch underneath here. So I'm going to try and form this patch. Right. And then it almost goes black, isn't it? But it's not, I don't want it too black. Just a little bit. Yeah, see the darkness melding with the black here. And then here, use the color palette. Pick up the color palette. There. Follow the strokes. All right. There's a color there. So I'm just following the strokes. What I'm doing now is creating texture. You may be lost at this moment in time, but believe me, it comes natural to you when you draw it, when you see the image more clearly. There. So now I can see this tone going all the way here. Just drop it down. No big deal, right? Just drop it. Here, the different textures. Crisscross, crisscross, crisscross. Right, crisscross. And then look, it's got that white texture, white crisscross. Right there, look, crisscross. Just drop that. Look. And then just follow it like that. Yes. Reduce the tone of that. And then what color is this? Beautiful white. So yeah, if it's white, then I'm going to make it white, isn't it? Then it'll be true to what this creature is all about. Okay, there, right. So here. Notice I'm not doing any real type of drawing, just following. I'm going to use a smaller brush to get that. Look forward to it, yeah? To get those, capture those. Just do that, okay? And then what do we have here? Now brownish tinge, okay? Keep doing it. Follow the strokes. Look what I'm doing. Follow the line of the fur. Follow the line of the fur. Now we have this lighter color, which is just moving our hand here. And we can get to the details of that. We can. Look at that. Just follow it. Get the illusion that the cat's got that. Okay, let's see where we are. See, we're coming together, isn't it? Now you can see here, some things need to be addressed here. Right. And here. And here. So just a little bit. Just follow that color. Follow this color. I'm following the line of furs. This one. Just using my eyes to see where I should go. This is not really drawing, is it? It's just basically using the reference image to the best you could do, reference image, and following it. That's all you're doing. Following along to it, nothing more. And then occasionally picking the color picker like I'm doing here, and then seeing where I could add. Remember there's that line thing. I'm going to use the line brush, which is the strong harsh brush, to do that. But we could also stick to right, okay. Let's see what it looks like. Improvement, isn't it, on that? Now you can see this ear, we can really fix it up. I mean, we got to this step, So here's the important thing. Got to this step, and what do we do in the next step? Well, you can see that if we hadn't arrived at this stage in the drawing, you won't see any holes. So this is a measure of your ability in trying to get to the next step. And the next step for me is pretty clear. I need to get the ears done a bit. And because we've got the smaller brush, we can go into the details. And then now we're moving back and forth, right? Okay, so pick that white color and then just go, just keep doing what we're doing and just go. It's a very light color there. We got the light color there. So I don't want to spend too long on this. So I'm doing it in a very, I'm not trying to create photorealism. So that's why I don't want to spend too long on this. If I were creating photorealism, I would be using the same thing as I'm doing now, working my way towards achieving photorealism and going through these steps, simple steps, and all the way through, and then beyond what the Painterly shows me, and way beyond it. Okay. There's the furs here, so these are white. So I could probably do a little bit of this. Yeah, this is also a painterly way, right? Creating the illusion of this fur within the ears, right? Look, it's just using, and then while we got the same color, just keep adding. Right, using the fingers still. And then there's a black color there. Just a darker color. So if I'm not there, I'll pick this. What's that? The ear lobe. So we need to get that right, doesn't it? And there's another ear lobe, interestingly enough, there. So let's see what that looks like. Better, isn't it? And then you can see right away that you might need to select. Okay. Let's do that. Looks so much better, isn't it? So let's finish this. Wow, that is bright. So let's finish this side of the ears. And then it goes, actually. Wow. Actually goes. And then here is the color that we need to make that seem like that it's not a uniform block piece. Now you can see the shapes changing. And then because we got the white underneath, we're using that as a form of so it's a bit of the highlight there, you can see. Not too much on that side, so take it down. And then darker bit here. Alright, this is actually makes a painting really easy with the fingers. This is probably the best way to do the feline creatures using your fingers. You can see that there. So we're going to add these different textures to give the illusion of form and shape. Then again, following the fur, and pick another color, following the fur, pick that. That, see the furs are going curling up on the nose. Oops, come on. Gotta get that fixed. Alright, let's see what we have here. You can see it's improving. Now you can see that what you need to do is you can see some of the shapes of this cat now appearing, becoming prominent. So the next step would be to address this area, yeah, which is clearly shows some things that we need to fix, right? So here you can see a slight gradient. So this is what I'm telling you, is that these subtle tones make the form and the shape of these subtle tones make the difference in giving this depth. Giving this cat the depth that it needs, yeah? Just use your fingers. Don't be afraid. Just do it. If you're afraid and you don't know how to get to the next step, it means you're lacking in confidence. You're not experimenting, you're not wasting paper. You're basically out there, you see that? This is digital, so you can start all over again. And don't blame it on you have no talent. This is a new drawing that I'm doing all the time. You got to keep in mind that I'm learning too as well. Couldn't see that. Remember we said we were going to fix this part, and that's what we're doing. Look here, see? He's got this white part that's going round. Not straight, just round. Yeah, there. Just going round. And then he's got this dark brown patch. Okay, so we're going to keep that as well. Swirly. Then he's got brown here. Something going on here. And then notice that this is slightly brown, so while we're at it, let's add that while we're there. And then it's white. Okay. And then we got this. See that? Follow the stroke of the cat's fur. Just follow the stroke. focus. Where are we now? See if we've improved it. Yes, there's big improvement, but still, that looks a little too bulbous, isn't it? So we might have to take it back, retreat it. So take the black, watch where the black is, look, see? So let's take, looks bulbous. See, it's this distortive, this areas that becomes so negative. Like you get to this stage and you feel, right there, see? That tells you, now let's look at it. Oh, much better, isn't it? Well, it's coming together, I have to admit. So now we can carry on. You can see as I go on and on, I'm going to get closer to this photorealistic drawing. So you can see right away, if you went on this step, you would not be able to go to the next one. You can see right now this creature has this furriness about it, nice furry that we've done by simply using our fingers with the strokes of following the strokes of the fur when you clap. Now you can see there's a blatant piece there that looks too choppy, and we'll just do that, and then I'm gonna finish it off here. Yeah, so again, keep it to all the way to the extreme so you can see what your drawing looks like. All right, keep the strokes that you want to follow. Right, just do that, and then it's got this. Right. Got this color that goes down in color. We've seen it in depth. So we can just keep extending that, yeah? And then what about this area? Here, see, notice the strokes. I'm just following the strokes of the fur, and you'll see what a change that has made. It's a significant change just with a little bit of effort. Let's save it. So now look, we've come to this far. You can say, well, I'm happy with this, and maybe, oh no, let me just put a few more marks there, just to give so you could say, I'm happy with this, and so we will finish it off. Now you can see, I just want to show you, we'll finish it off with this thing. Have we noticed now this furry thing that's going on here? This little thing. Well, that's easy, isn't it? I mean, think about it. How are you going to do that? Well, you pick the color that is most suited to this. You can use your color picker, right? And then try it that way. Okay, just follow that, just that. So I'm going to finish it off like just using, see, two tones. I'm using two tones. Oh gosh, sorry about that. Just got that. I pressed the button accidentally. So I got the habit of doing that. Pick that color. So that So we've got some, we don't have some textures here, and we could keep on adding textures like I just showed you, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this. So you can continue to add the textures on its main body, and now what we'll do is cats wouldn't be cats without its whiskers. So like I said, I'm going to go to 100% and see if that works, and take it really down. 100% means it's a very high opacity, and then select a white color. I'm at this one here, and then see what happens. Oh yeah, okay, that works. So let's see, got just follow the line, doesn't have to be exact. Okay. Okay. Just using as a reference as a color there, look. Okay, what do we have here? There you go. So I think we'll finish here, but you can see where I'm going with this. So what have we learned here? Okay, very important lessons here to be learned. And if you're a beginner, you might be overwhelmed with what I'm showing you. But the basic principle is that we use the color picker, we got the reference image, and of course you can load any image you wish, any of your favorite image you want to draw with block coloring. So let's recap. So we used the color picker, we loaded this image first, number one. Then we change the background color to black, yeah, and that's the first thing we do. And then we simply use a broad color of 20% to do the whole block coloring, which is basically just using a color picker and then just simply going block coloring in broad strokes. And we made our first pass, right? And then we just continued. And then the second phase, we reduced the brush size to 10% or whatever. And then we knew that the eyes needed a bit more detail, so we did that. And then the third phase was we just continued to build on this smaller detail, going locally, picking up the tones and going locally with the smaller brush, isn't it? No, I don't know what it was, but just going and then just pick color picker, then again color picker, because it picks out the color tones that's on there. Just simply using our fingers, an effective way to just pick up the color tones and just apply it. Okay, and that's all we did, nothing more, nothing different. And that's how we made the entire drawing. And then I showed you how to take this painterly method of drawing to another level, each stage at a time. And then photorealism is when your painting looks like this. It's hard to tell the difference, and you can see that this gives you an approach to getting to such fine details. In fact, I told you that I could take this. Now you can see for yourself, this drawing can be taken to the stage of photorealism by continuously developing these stages of drawing. So don't dismiss photorealism. There's a lot of people, beginners, who say, photorealism, why do I want to see a photo? If I want to see a photo, then believe me, you are dissing their skills. They are using their hand skills to do photorealism, and you should acknowledge it and admire it for such. And like I said, photorealism is the pinnacle of your drawing expertise. You are a master of drawing and painting if you can do photorealism. When it comes to hyperrealism, I have a different opinion. It's done pixel by pixel, To me, that's not really artistry as such, so I don't consider that as having useful set of art skills. This develops your art skills. It will open the doors to creativity. It is a rapid way of going in leaps and bounds in your drawing skills. And trust me, it's happened with me, the same experience. I'm not an artist, but I've learned a lot by doing this way. And you should always keep your mind open to drawing. So here's the drawing of the reference image, and here's our drawing that we did in the space of an hour or so. So I hope to see you again soon, again on another session. But please make sure to subscribe and comment, and I would really appreciate comments on this drawing, and if you have any queries as to where you're going on. And if you want to, I would also, if you'd like to post your drawing on the community page of the app. Let me save this first. Painterly, cat Painterly. Okay, and then I'm going to, so I'm going to go back, because I've saved it already, and you go to community, and here you can post your all your, yeah, there's this one person who's using this site all the time, so you post your paintings there, and then I give you comments, and I'm sure to give you comments. And so just go to community here, and this button on the top right, and then tutorials, to do all the practice tutorials are free, and get your drawing skills to a level where you don't have to say wow to other artists. You can say wow to yourself as well. So happy drawing and painting, and see you soon. Thanks. Bye bye.